Yeah, buddy. This is freaking sick. Hey guys, Ty here, Octane Motorworks. We just had a new toy show up today, so we're gonna do a little unboxing. Let's get to it. So we picked up a XX Sur Ron from Luna Cycle. And it says, has some important instructions here. It said, before acting like a 5-year-old child on Christmas morning, read these instructions so you don't screw it up. So we're definitely gonna go through those. But just opening the box here, it looks like the frame is all together in one, and it looks like we're gonna install the fork and then the wheels separately. It's probably similar to a downhill mountain bike. So let's get this unboxed. Easy enough there. Okay, this is the point where I pull out the instructions and make sure I get this wired up correctly. So it looks like I got this set up right. I'm gonna put some zip ties on this to the handlebar, but I just kind of sat on the bike, adjusted the brake levers, made sure that the throttle did not go all the way under the bolt bar to give a little space so it doesn't bind up on the handlebar. And that feels pretty good. You know, my brother has one too. I'm gonna go check out his to see how his wiring is routed just to get it similar, but it looks like I'm in pretty good shape. I'm just gonna throw some zip ties on this, but I wanna make sure it's right before I do. It's all tightened up. The tire's full. We can check the battery. Give you a little bit closer look here. So here's a little up close here. So like I said, I didn't slide it all the way under the bar. It's about right here. Has good response there. And then the brake lever snugged up here. Again, you know, I don't know exactly how I'm gonna want the wiring, but it looks like it's probably wrapped up pretty good. So I'll probably move this up here, throw a zip tie on there. It had this little rubber fastener that I just put around that side for the brake cable. And then I've got the axle all on. I've got the other peg installed. Let's drop this battery in and see if she turns on. Little lock on the side where you can use your key, drop it in. Just can move the wire a little way, drop it into place. It has 2 connectors on it. I'll give you a close up in just a second here. Just have a battery indicator top. I'll show you that. So as you can see, this is the XX, so it's the bigger battery that the Luna has done some modifications on. The 2 clips here, I have heard that in stock format, there is a wire U-clip. It might be this one to take the limit off the speed. I'm gonna look into that a little bit. This is from Luna Cycle as their modified one, already being the XX, so hopefully they've already done that along with the controller, so you can just pop that down. There's a little indicator light. We're at 87%. Go ahead and put the key on. The headlight does come on all the time. Here's a little gauge here. You have sport and econo mode, so that's generally where you start. Looks like a little horn here. Sweet. And I think she's ready to rip. Okay, throttle's not doing anything. So, what have I done wrong here? Sport. Nothing. So I've got something hooked up here wrong. I'm gonna take a look. Well, I'm not sure what's going on with this. It's definitely hooked up right. If I open this, realize there's a breaker back down in here. So off there, it is turned on. It's plugged in. This only plugs in one way, so that's in right. Turn the key on. It does fire up. I did do the little trick here with this button, holding this button down when you start it. We'll change it from 10 miles per hour. But, you know, now I should be able to touch this throttle and have it go, and it's not going anywhere. So there's something wrong with this here. In the meantime, while I figure this out, I've turned off the breaker and unplugged it, and then I've plugged in the charger. So we'll get it to 100%, and I'll do some research on what might the issue be. But I definitely, you know, it says don't pull this cable. I was definitely very careful when I pulled it. It's still very tight in there. It's not bound up anywhere, so I'm not exactly sure what's going on. So we'll figure it out and we'll get back to it. While we're trying to figure out the throttle thing, got the fender, let me put that on. Alright, got that fender on, looks pretty sweet. I just need to see why this thing is not working. Alright, it's been a couple days. Spent trying to diagnose what's going on with this throttle. Tried a few things. I had it running by taking off the brake sensor. So there's sensors underneath the brake lever. So when you pull it, it'll actually cut the throttle. And that's known to have issues. So I removed that. It was running for a little bit, cut out again. So I have also removed both brakes. And let me flip the camera around here. So I've removed both brake sensors. I've also removed, there is a sensor on the kickstand so that it just knows that the kickstand's up. But I've removed that, another less thing to go wrong. And there's also what they call a tilt sensor. It's kind of buried up in the middle here, and if you crash the bike and it's off, you know, off to the side, falling over, it will stop the motor. I haven't removed the sensor out of there, but I did pull this out, and all the wires are in there, and I unplugged it. I should have maybe created a video of that, but I was very frustrated when I was doing that. But it seems to be working now. It's nice and sunny out, although it is really freaking cold. So that's why I got my big jacket on. We turn this thing on, bad boy on. You can see we're still 90-something%. And now, just so I don't take off on this easy, I'll just make sure that pulling the throttle does nothing again. Yeah, buddy. This is freaking sick. Sur Ron's working good now. Yeah, this thing's sweet. It's working good now. So it's been a while since my last update, and I had some challenges, but I've got it sorted out now. Ended up being a couple things. One, it was my controller, so I replaced that with Unicycle, and then I also had a challenge with the brake sensors, so those are off. The controller's back from Luna. I ended up getting a stock controller, swapped it on to prove that it worked. It was working good. Sent in to Luna, and they shipped me out the replacement right when they got tracking info, so that was kind of handy. That was nice of them. Got the new one on. Definitely has more power with the upgrade controller. Thing's freaking sweet. Let's take a look around. So the light does stay on. I do have a switch that I'm gonna install that I can cut the light, and I do have a new light to install, but this thing is pretty awesome. This volcano shock works pretty good. And then I did get, if you can see this, I did get this bar right here that goes in between the pegs, and it adds some rigidity to that, so you don't, since you have a lot of weight on these pegs if you wreck. There's usually a sensor for the kickstand too. I've taken that off, as well as a tilt sensor. I've taken that off because, you know, ride or die. So this thing's working good, man. Pretty stoked about it. There'll be a lot more videos to come with this in it, and until next time, ride or die.